As you may be aware, the University of Ghana has been selected by the International Association of Universities, AAU, as the lead institution worldwide to lead the Sustainable Development Goal 1, that's the SDG 1, that is poverty. On our part as a university, we are committed to supporting the country in achieving the targets set out in the SDGs. Now this task is spearheaded by WAACCI, which is working towards eradicating food insecurity in the sub-region through the training of highly skilled personnel needed to breed and improve food security for the rural farmers. WAACCI is also contributing to the needed human resources for the strengthening of breeding programs of the National Agricultural Research System, the NARS, in sub-Saharan Africa. It's important to note that the excellence charged by WAACCI has a linkage with its capacity in winning competitive international grants. From its inception in 2007 up to date, WAACCI has won about 28 million United States dollars, out of which approximately 21 million have been committed. These efforts have contributed to the success story of the University of Ghana as the only university in Ghana that is ranked in the Times Higher Education ranking and the top-ranked university in sub-Saharan Africa. No, you're not clapping. I think this is good news. If you look at the indicators, what goes into world ranking, I mean, there's no doubt that the role played by WAACCI remains very significant.
Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ghana is extremely proud of the work WAACCI which has put Ghana on the global map in the areas of plant breeding, education, and the PhD level. Thank you. Your several achievements at WAACCI would not have been possible without the University of Ghana's preeminence in the sub-region and the visionary leadership of Prof. and the team here at Legon, whom I have known for over 2 decades. The Preston report recommended preservation of the leadership that is making the center a leader in plant breeding with a professional chair. I urge UG to explore this recommendation with private partners. While I commend Prof. and his team for the foresight, commitment, hard work, and innovation, we can continue to do more. So I do urge them to work harder. And I think I will continue to have space in the little time that I have left of my dream, the University of Ghana Agriculture, which I vehemently fought for. Kwame Ofe is here, and I was beaten down by between Kwame Ofe and Aita. I don't know who gave me big applause, but because I just truly believe that even though we're going into that model, that agric was so crucial, that we should have some forbearance and just make it separate and let the world know that independent of anything else, this is the beginning. I suspect in my mind as a private sector person, we should maybe name it, the Kofi Annan Enterprise. Not only is it appropriate for what he has done, but it's certainly a great marketing tool, and we will then also immortalize his name. So, with my participation in this commissioning ceremony, it really is one of the many steps in this process of building up on your leadership, giving you more support, and ensuring that you grow from strength to strength. And it's going to take some courage, and you're going to break a few eggs in the process, because we have to do it what we are doing. We are in the middle of a banking restructuring, and it's a very difficult thing because you are meeting some very strong people in the society, and you are going. But once you deeply believe that is the right thing to do, I think it's worth the fight for it. And let's take agriculture as that type of fight, and just stand strongly on the Lord and just let it happen. On this note, with God's support and with really a joyful heart, I declare WAACCI Multipurpose Building duly commissioned.
Well, for us, I think we have been blessed. The government put $1 million into this building. They haven't paid fully. Nonetheless, it's brought us thus far. I believe that the government of Ghana will make investments. They are thinking about scaling up. The finance minister announced a $60 million project. We believe to write a grant to access some of that $60 million. So I think the government is attracting loans, but I think governments must look beyond loans and invest in agriculture from the national budget. I believe that if they did that, they will work with speed and efficiency. 2017 Agra ended. Had it not been for ACE, we wouldn't be where we are. Of course, we have developed a sustainability plan, but I think the ACE project has helped a lot. Accessing the tranches of grants from the ACE has helped us come thus far. New with ACE impact is we are going to focus on selected crops. So here we are looking at some commodities and making impact so that farmers will smile, so that businesses will flourish, so that industry will get the varieties that they want to process. We have not had problems with our graduates because they have come from the NAS and have gone back to their research institutions. So all of our graduates are gainfully employed in the National Agricultural Research System. So we have never had a problem with employability.
So if we want to develop, then we must invest in research. The US have demonstrated that, the Japanese have demonstrated, all developed countries have demonstrated that. So it's time that we get back and realize that with a defective research orientation, we are looking forward to a destructive future. And so we must invest in research to ensure that that's a lesson to move forward. My philosophy is that we need to continue the projects that we have started, and we need to complete those that we came to meet. That is the word to my management. So we have had the WAACCI building, which was commenced in I think September or so last 2016. It's been completed, commissioned. We have the WAACCI building started in November 2016, completed, and then we having the advanced lab for the Noguchi Memorial Research Institute. It's being financed. That's about a $20 million project being financed by Japanese government through grant. That will be completed by the close of this year.
We know that education in Africa is very important, and for some of us who have studied outside and come back, we realize the WAACCI education is at par with most of the institutes out there, and it's an honor to be able to study in my home country with the same resources that someone outside of a country will get, So I think it's been beneficial, it's been helpful to be under the ACE project and to benefit. I've benefited much from it. When my family and I moved to the US and I was going to school, I once told myself I will be glad if I lived in Ghana and I got kind of like the stipend I was getting in the US and the resources. Well, I came back to Ghana and it was pretty much that the lectures are very fun. They're fun. Facilities are good. I've just started with my research, and whenever I want to order something, it's quick. You talk to the finance officer, you get your documents signed, and you get your money for your research. So it's really good. I'm working on breeding bacterial wilt-resistant tomato varieties for Ghana. So first off, we know that in Ghana we export almost all of the tomatoes that we eat. The canned tomatoes we export a lot from China, and also the fresh produce we export from Burkina Faso. And this is because we have a lot of factors that affect our production, and they do not work to help us. We have diseases and we have other abiotic factors, but most importantly, working on breeding bacterial wilt-resistant tomato varieties will help us be able to grow our tomatoes and be able to benefit from from that, because it's good to grow your own crops and benefit from it, and eventually it goes to help us achieve food security. So that's what I think. Tomato is very important. We eat tomato in almost every dish that we make in Ghana. So yeah.